Hello, my lovelies. I am Vespra, the evening star here on Vespra's Fanfiction Time. I will be your host today, and today we are going to be reading Chapter 13 of You Call It Necromancy? I Call It Making Friends. So, oh my god, my voice. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the story. Today is a big day, and Dabi will make sure it is special. Why? Simple. Today is Izuku's birthday, a day that for Izuku has not been very special since he turned 4. But between his abusive parents and the time they spent building the necromancer's reputation, Izuku hasn't had a real birthday party in 5 years. And that's something all the zombies have decided to remedy. They made plans last night while Izuku was sleeping. All that was needed was to find a way to get Izuku out of the apartment while Rowan and Shiro prepared everything. Of course, they enlisted the help of Azewa and Yamada. The team was all gathered inside Mitten's office, discussing the plan. Yamada is the most excited about this plan, while Azewa clutches the coffee mug like it's the most precious thing in the world. I understand the plan, Azewa says, but why are we here at 5 a.m.? Because Izuku is the very definition of an early bird, Dabi replies. Unless he has come from a night mission, he always wakes up at 6 a.m. at the latest, which means we have less than an hour to make the plan, Rowan adds. We need to find a way to get him out of the house, but he can't suspect it. This might be easier than you think, Kakashi says. I mean, he never mentioned his birthday approaching. I think you forgot. That's probably what happened, Dabi says. Izuku doesn't even think his birthday is a special date. So, even though his birthday is right after 2 others, he points to Yamada, while Hitoshi would have wanted to be here, he's having a sleepover in Izuku's room, so they decided to let him sleep. He probably forgot his own. In this case, we can take him somewhere, Kakashi says. But where? Oh, I know, Yamada says. There's an arcade not very far from here. Hitoshi mentioned it the other day. He frowns. He also mentioned he has never been to one. Same with Izuku, Frank says. We talked the other day while he was at my lab. Why was he in your lab? Did he get hurt? Rowan asked. He said he has never been to an arcade since he didn't have friends at school. Frank waves him off. And his parents wouldn't waste money on him. He turns to Azewa. Can't we just kill him? Too much paperwork, Azewa says. They are already being charged with child abuse and abandonment. A friend of mine, a detective, is personally handling the case, so I can assure you they won't escape justice. Fine, but they better hope I never meet them, Frank grumbles. Anyway, the arcade is actually a great choice. Okay, Kakashi and Dabi, you two are going to take Izuku and Hitoshi to the arcade, Rowan says. The rest will organize everything. Why only them? Frank asks, pouting. Because you and Dabi are the ones who can suggest the arcade without Izuku suspecting anything, Rowan says, and they'll need adult supervision. You don't count as adult supervision, Frank. Meanie, Frank grumbles. Fine, so you want to help me decorate? Gods no, Shiro chuckles. You and Mittens are on shopping duty. Rowan and I will decorate. And we asked Yamada's help because I'm sure he remembers the kitchen incident, Rowan adds. Well, we aren't any better than Izuku. Leave it to me, listeners, Yamada replies. I'll bake the best cake the zombie listener ever had. Does he have any preferences? Sweet, Dabi says. Very sweet, Rowan adds. Diabetes causing. I think you can't go wrong with chocolate, Shiro says. Got it, Yamada says, grinning. I think I have everything I need to bake the cake. Help me check, Sho. Sure, Azewa mutters, drowning what's left of his coffee. Okay, we have the plan, Rowan says. Let's all make this the best birthday of Izuku's life. Everyone cheers with him. Even Azewa raises an arm. Izuku is intrigued and excited at the same time. He's never been to an arcade before, and from what he knows, neither has Satoshi. And wow, isn't that a foreign concept? Not only is he going to an arcade, but he's going with a friend. No, Dabi and Kakashi don't count. Izuku sees Dabi as an older brother, and Kakashi is like a fun uncle. Hitoshi is his first friend in so many years. Izuku's eyes widen as he enters the arcade. He has passed the arcade close to his old school many times, but he never entered it. The place looks much bigger inside, and there are games everywhere. Izuku doesn't even know where to start. Thankfully, he has two guides who seem to know how this works. Kakashi and Dabi gesture towards a machine where they put a few bills and take tokens for the games. Then they start showing Izuku and Hitoshi around. There are so many games to try. Hitoshi and Dabi find an air hockey game, and their competitive spirits are instantly ignited. In less than a minute, they are in a super heated game. So heated that Izuku wonders if Dabi isn't accidentally using his quirk. Shrugging, Izuku and Kakashi look for something else to play, and a few minutes later, they find a punching ball game. How does this work? Izuku asks, eyeing the punching bag. Kakashi looks at it and inserts a token. Simple. Give it your manliest punch, he says. Izuku eyes the machine for a few seconds, then throws a punch. The numbers rise and stop at 217. Guess I'm not very strong, Izuku says. There's a lot of technique involved as well, Kakashi replies. To punch harder, you'll want to add your weight to the punch. If possible, picking up momentum also helps. Remember the stance Ronin taught you? Use it. Izuku nods and takes a boxing stance as Kakashi adds another token to the machine. He takes a step back and prepares. Okay, momentum, stance, weight, he mumbles. Alrighty, Kakashi says. Izuku nods and takes a running start towards the punching bag. Then he stomps on the floor and throws a punch, spinning his body to add weight to it. The punch hits the bag, and Izuku watches with hitched breath as the numbers rise. 521. Wow, this is more than twice his first score. That's amazing. See, I knew you could do it, Kakashi says with a proud smile. You're so manly. What about you? I want to see you do it, Izuku asks, giving his best puppy eyes. He knows his dull eyes make it a lot less effective, but it seems to work just fine on his zombies. Don't need to give me puppy eyes, Kakashi laughs. I'll try. He puts another token and takes a stance, similar to the one Izuku used. Kakashi steps on the floor so hard that the sound echoes despite all the noise inside the arcade, and Izuku hears a loud boom as his fist connects with the punching bag. The numbers rise quickly to 999 and the machine's limit. New record! The machine announces, and Izuku jumps excitedly. That's a manly punch, Kakashi says proudly. Amazing, Izuku says, running to Kakashi. Glad you like it, Kakashi says. Now, let's try another game. Izuku nods so quickly that he almost gets whiplash. Meanwhile, at the apartment, Churro and Rowan are working non-stop to decorate the house. Churro is hanging the balloons while Rowan fills them. Are they still there? Rowan asks. Yep, they're all at the arcade, Churro says. I hope they're having fun. Me too, Rowan replies. It's so rare for Izuku to be able to act his age. It's not fair. I'm the newest one here, so I don't know much about him, Churro says. There's not much to say. His mother was a cheating bastard, and she blamed Izuku when her husband discovered her infidelity. Rowan explains. And at school, he was bullied because of his quirk. His father is an abusive asshole who dropped him in a forest to be killed by wolves. All that when he was just 6. Churro nods, turning back to the balloons she's hanging. It's surprising he can still trust people after all he went through, she says. Most people would want vengeance. Yeah, but Izuku doesn't have a single mean bone in his body. Rowan chuckles. I don't know how anyone could call him a villain. We are biased, Churro replies, and people are bigots. I guess you're right, Rowan says. We can't change people's minds. Yeah, but there's something we can do, Churro replies, smiling. We can make sure he has the best birthday he ever had. We completely agree on this, Rowan nods. So, back to work. There's a lot to do. Aye, Captain, Churro replies, and they go back to decorating. Everything needs to be perfect. Izuku finds Satoshi leaning against a machine, looking at something on his cell phone. Near him, there is music playing and a small crowd watching something. With his curiosity piqued, Izuku approaches. "Hey Toshi, what's happening?" "Look for yourself," Hitoshi says, pointing to the crowd. Izuku takes a step forward and sees what the crowd is looking at. A game called Dance Dance Revolution, which, as the name implies, is a dancing game. And the one dancing at speeds that Izuku didn't even know were possible is Dabi. He's dancing to a piano song called Rush E. "How's that possible?" Izuku asks. Hitoshi shrugs. "Don't know. Maybe it's because he's too light," he says. "I mean, he's literally just bones." "Found it." "What are you doing?" Izuku asks, glancing over Hitoshi's shoulder at his phone. "Ordering the DDR game for home," Hitoshi explains. "I'm not sure yet if I'm going to set it up in the lab or my own room." "Why?" Izuku asks, raising an eyebrow. "Practice," Hitoshi replies. "Dabi completely kicked my ass in this game." "Okay, and why not the lab?" Izuku asks. Hitoshi lowers his phone and looks at Izuku with a manic, competitive gleam in his eyes. Then he points back to Dabi. "And let this skeletal jackass get even more practice? No thanks. I'm defeating him next time we play," he says. "Alright," Izuku shrugs. "Well, this looks fun. I'll try it." Then he steps over just as Dabi is finishing his song. "Hey Zu, wanna try?" he asks as he starts the next song. A song called Valkyrie Dimension. "I'll go easy on you," Dabi says with a wink. Izuku still doesn't know how he can always tell Dabi's expressions. "Don't worry about me," Izuku replies, grinning as he tests the game. "Okay, I'm ready." Dabi nods and starts the song. "So I just follow the arrows, right?" Izuku confirms. "Exactly," Dabi says. "Don't be too disgruntled if you don't do very well. It's a hard game." Izuku shrugs and starts following the dance, and immediately, everyone's jaw drops. The song has a little over 2 minutes, and by the end of it, Izuku has a perfect score. Dabi, who also did very well, but missed 2 arrows. So, Izuku won. "What the hell?" Hitoshi, who saw everything, says. "How? I thought it was your first time playing," Dabi asks in surprise. "It is," Izuku shrugs, "but it's just reaction time and following patterns. It's not that hard." "Again," Dabi says. "Let's play again." "Alright." Izuku accepts and waits for Dabi to put on the next song. The one called Over the Period. "I won't lose again," Dabi says, and starts the song. To his dismay, the last song wasn't just beginner's luck. Again, Izuku ends with a perfect score, while Dabi misses a single arrow during the music. So Izuku wins, again. After they finish the song, they see Kakashi approaching with his phone in his hands. "Hey guys, ready to go home?" he asks. "I guess," Dabi says with a nonchalant shrug, but Izuku can hear the pout in his voice and has to hold himself together not to laugh. "I'm tired anyway. Guess I can't dance as well as usual." "Tired?" Izuku asks, raising an eyebrow. "But you have infinite stamina." "As I said, I'm tired. So let's go home," Dabi replies, which makes Izuku and Hitoshi laugh. Okay, you're tired," Izuku says. "Let's go home." He follows Kakashi. As they're leaving, Kakashi looks at Izuku. "So, did you have fun?" he asks. "Yes, it was so much fun. Thank you for bringing us here," Izuku replies. "I'm glad you liked it," Kakashi replies. They go back to the apartment, and just before entering, Dabi puts a bony hand over Izuku's eyes. "Close your eyes, Green Bean. We have one last surprise for you today," he says. "A surprise? Why?" he asks. "You'll see," Dabi says. Izuku sighs and does as Dabi says. Dabi guides Izuku inside. The apartment is unusually quiet, which is very suspicious. Usually, he would at least be hearing Mittens working inside her office. "Okay, what's happening?" Izuku asks. "Well, Green Bean," Dabi says and pulls his hand away from Izuku's eyes. "Happy birthday!" Izuku almost falls back in surprise as he takes everything in. The living room is decorated with lots of balloons, and there's confetti flying everywhere. Izuku looks at each of them with his mouth agape, and then at the chocolate cake on the table. Then he pulls out his phone and checks the date. It's July 5th. Today is his birthday. When was the last time someone did something that nice for him on his birthday? Ever since he was 4, this day has been nothing more than a reminder that he's a mistake, that he's the result of his mother's infidelity. He remembers his 5th birthday. Hizashi almost killed him that day. But nothing hurt more than his mother's words that day. You should have never been born. Yet here are all the people he loves, and they all came together to make him see this day as a special day again. It's too much. Izuku can feel the tears starting to fall from his eyes, and at the same time, he can feel the grin stretching his face. I love you guys, Izuku says. Thank you. Dabi gives him a nudge forward, and they all fall into a group hug. Not even Azewa has the heart to deny it. Izuku had never felt so happy in his life. All this time, he's been missing his family, but now he gets it. This is his family. A family made of 6 zombies, an insomniac kid, a loud blonde, and a tired underground hero. They are a weird family, but to Izuku, they are perfect. And that is all for chapter 13. I am sorry if you hear a fire alarm in the background. We have like 5 where I am right now, and we've been trying to figure out which one is which. I think we have, so I'm going to change it so that way in the next episodes you don't hear it. But I do have some news. On June 22nd, I will be doing a live stream of reading fanfiction nonstop for as long as I can. Which my goal is to be on live for about like 3, maybe 5 hours? I'm not sure. We're just going to see how that day unfolds. But it will be a non-stop fanfiction reading day. I want to know what y'all want me to read. If you have stories that are already pre-approved and such, and it'll just be a marathon. It'll be a fun time. I'll be answering questions and such, and just whatever, But yeah, as always, people, have a good morning, good night, good afternoon. Have a good everything, and I will see y'all next time. Mwah. Bye.